Hello, everyone. Today, we're diving into a topic that affects a huge number of stroke survivors, but it's often, completely misunderstood. We're talking about post-stroke fatigue. It's this common, really challenging, and often invisible part of recovery. So let's start by getting a sense of just how big of a deal this really is. This quote, wow, it just gets right to the heart of it, doesn't it? If this sounds familiar, if you're feeling this way, I really want you to hear this. You're not alone. This highlights just how profound this experience can be. This isn't just you being a bit tired. It's a real, significant challenge. So to really get a handle on it, we first have to understand it. In this first section, we're going to break down what post-stroke fatigue actually is, and just as importantly, what it isn't. Okay, the single most important phrase here, the one I really want you to grab onto, is doesn't get better with rest. That's the game changer. We are not talking about the kind of tiredness you feel after a long day at work. No, this is a persistent, overwhelming exhaustion that can just show up out of nowhere, and it hits you both in your body and in your mind. This chart makes the difference crystal clear. Normal tiredness has a cause. You went for a long walk, had a busy day. You rest, you get a good night's sleep, and you feel better. Post-stroke fatigue is a completely different beast. It feels constant. A nap doesn't recharge the batteries, and it hits you mentally too, making it super hard to concentrate. So this leads us to the big question, right? Why? Why does this intense fatigue happen after a stroke? Let's dig into some of the reasons behind it. At its very core, your body is doing a monumental job. Think of it this way. Your brain is working serious overtime. It's not just healing, it's often building completely new connections to relearn things that used to be automatic. And that process, it uses up a tremendous amount of energy. And it's not just the brain healing in a vacuum. It all kind of stacks up. Those rehab exercises, they're essential, but man, are they demanding. You've probably lost some fitness from being in the hospital. And if you have any muscle weakness, even a simple movement like walking to the kitchen can suddenly burn way more fuel than it ever did before. But this isn't just a physical thing. Not at all. The emotional journey after a stroke is intense. You're coping with huge changes, frustrations, maybe some anxiety. All of that contributes to this deep sense of exhaustion. It's a heavy emotional load to carry around. And it's so important to be aware of the overlap with depression. Now, they are not the same thing, but they can definitely walk hand in hand. If you're struggling with a low mood or you can't sleep, it is so important to talk to your GP. They can help you figure out what's really going on and get you the right kind of support. And, there can be other pieces to this puzzle. Things like sleep apnea, chronic pain, or even side effects from your medication can all be adding to the problem. I think of this slide as a kind of checklist of things to talk through with your doctor, just to make sure you're looking at the whole picture. Okay, so we've talked about the what and the why. Now for the most important part. What in the world can we do about it? This next section is all about practical, real-world strategies for taking back some control over your energy. I love this framework because it's so simple and effective. It's the 3 Ps: pace, plan, and prioritize. It's really all about being smart with the energy you have. Pacing means not trying to do everything at once. Planning means thinking ahead about your day. And prioritizing, well, that's about spending your limited energy on what really, truly matters to you. This piece of advice right here is absolutely vital. We've all done it, right? You have a good day, you feel a bit more like yourself, and you think, great, I'm going to catch up on everything. But with post-stroke fatigue, that creates this boom and bust cycle, where you pay for that one good day by being completely wiped out for the next 2. Pacing, even on the good days, is so key. And here are a few more powerful tools for your toolkit. Keeping a simple diary can be amazing for spotting patterns and triggers you didn't even know were there. Celebrating the small wins that builds momentum. And please remember, even gentle stuff like a long phone call can be draining. You have to schedule real breaks. It's a marathon, not a sprint. All right, finally, and this is so important, you do not have to figure this out all by yourself. Let's talk about building a team around you, your support system, to help you through this. Because fatigue is invisible, your friends and family might just not realize how much you're struggling. They can't see it. So explaining what you're going through, that can be a total game changer. You could even show them this guide. Helping them understand is the first step to them knowing how to support you. Now, if you're thinking about going back to work, I know that can feel like a massive hurdle. But there are strategies to make it more manageable. Things like a phased return, having an open chat with your employer about what you need, And getting advice from an occupational therapist, these can make all the difference. Just be patient with yourself. And remember, your medical team is your first line of defense. Your GP, your stroke nurse, your occupational therapist, they can help rule out other causes, they can look at your medications, and they can give you personalized strategies. You really need to lean on their expertise. And please know, if you need more information or you just want to talk to someone who really gets it, the Stroke Association Helpline is a fantastic resource. Never ever hesitate to reach out for advice or support for you or your family. So as we close out, I want to leave you with this question. Not, how can I fix everything at once? No, just, what's one small change you can plan for tomorrow? Maybe it's just scheduling a real 15-minute break. Maybe it's deciding to do just one important thing. The journey of managing this fatigue, it starts with a single, small, manageable step. Thanks so much for joining me.